Chosen ones. Listen closely, for the gears of the cosmic machine have reached their pivot point. The time for negotiation is over. We are standing inside a high-stakes transition. You are fresh off the full moon, moving through the 2/2 portal and witnessing Uranus direct peak simultaneously. If you are spiritually attuned, you recognize that this is not a random sequence. It is a forced evolution. Souls like yours were never designed for the terminal sleep of a predictable life. You were built for these exact moments, where the universe bends, patterns shatter, and reality reveals who is actually capable of navigating the unexpected. Where the masses stabilize in fear, you activate. Where the crowd panics, you recalibrate. The Uranus shift is the final lock in the sequence. Today is the last moment before the new trajectory is formalized. In this window, the weight of your decisions is amplified. Hesitation is no longer a neutral delay. It is a high-cost expenditure of potential. The acceleration. When Uranus goes direct, the universe stops negotiating with your anxieties and starts accelerating your current vector. If you do not claim your next chapter, the energy will dictate it for you. The triple click. Think of today as a door unlocking in 3 distinct stages: willingness, honesty, and movement. The signal. You are not being asked to overhaul your entire existence. You are being asked to signal, through internal alignment, that you are ready for the future that has already arrived. The 2/2 portal did not manifest by accident between the Moon and Uranus. It is the narrow passageway between 2 incompatible realities. Unlike the romanticized, dreamy portals of the past, this year's 2/2 energy is clinical and demanding. It is a frequency of no more delay. This is the threshold where your future shows up early and demands eye contact. During this window, you will find procrastination becomes physically uncomfortable. You may feel a sudden, inexplicable certainty about paths that seemed impossible just a week ago. This isn't an emotional shift, it is a structural one. The full moon opened the door. The 2/2 portal pulls you through. Uranus direct locks the door behind you. The universe is lining up your internal world with a cosmic pivot. This sequence does not force change through crisis, but through a terrifyingly sharp clarity. Once you accept this frequency, the shift today will not feel like a shock. It will feel like a confirmation of what you have known in the dark for months. The future has arrived early. The portal is active. Your movement is the only requirement. Chosen ones. Listen closely, for a silent surge is moving beneath the surface of reality. There is a moment that always occurs during a major energetic pivot where something you thought was just a phase suddenly reveals itself as a permanent mismatch. It isn't dramatic, it isn't chaotic. It is a quiet, devastatingly powerful recognition that the thing you've been trying to endure, justify, or adapt to simply doesn't fit your soul anymore. The truth is, this realization didn't arrive by accident. Yesterday's full moon cracked the foundation open, and Uranus, going direct, today is the cosmic force that makes it impossible to unsee the truth. What you felt recently wasn't just discomfort for its own sake. It was your intuition tugging at you, attempting to pull you away from a version of reality you have outgrown. We tend to call these moments rough patches or temporary friction, but they are signs that your spirit has already made a decision your mind hasn't caught up to yet. The full moon exposed the raw, emotional honesty you've been avoiding. And now, Uranus is stepping in to rearrange how that truth plays out in your physical world. This is not the beginning of a crisis. It is the end of pretending. The moment clarity lands, something metaphysical happens. The thing you were holding on to loses its grip on you. Attachment breaks. Illusion is replaced by absolute truth. You don't have to force yourself to detach. You don't have to fight a battle within. The realization itself dissolves the shackles for you. Once you see the misalignment clearly, you can no longer squeeze your light into that narrow, suffocating box. This shift is internal first. It is the slow, steady unraveling of a story that no longer matches the master you are becoming. When you understand that the discomfort was a sign of a misfit rather than a mistake, everything changes. You stop blaming yourself. You stop resisting the tide. This is the exact state Uranus requires of you before it moves forward. Aware, honest, and no longer negotiating with what does not align with your divine signature. Before I reveal the 5 strange events scheduled to manifest in your reality as Uranus opens this portal, you must anchor your presence. Like this video right now, to signal to the universe that you have stopped resisting and are now walking through the gateway. In the comments below, type the code 1111 to seal this frequency of truth into your current timeline. Declare, I am done pretending. I claim my truth. Subscribe the holy days and turn on the bell. In this narrow window of activation, these updates will be your only map through the shifting timelines. If this channel has served as your lighthouse, you can support me with a cup of coffee at the link in the description of this video. Your support is a powerful energetic signature of your commitment to this awakening and the exchange of light. And once you are submerged in that new energetic state, something deeply transformative and unexpected begins to unfold. Your core values, those silent contracts you hold with yourself, start recalibrating and rearranging themselves in sophisticated ways you never anticipated. One of the most peculiar dynamics of a Uranus retrograde is its capacity to fundamentally restructure human consciousness from the inside out, often without the individual even recognizing the depth of the process. This transformation doesn't manifest through sudden, external cataclysms. Rather, it occurs through subtle, subterranean, internal recalibrations, a slow, quiet shifting of your psychic tectonic plates that fundamentally change what you deem worthy of your attention, what compromises you are willing to make, and the boundaries of what you are prepared to accept into your personal field. For many months now, a deep, quiet shifting has been underway within your operational preferences, your standards for partnership, your non-negotiable desires, and the very specific type of energetic quality you permit into your immediate space. All have been silently upgraded. You have been evolving in the background, undergoing a profound, hidden metamorphosis. Even though your external circumstances might have appeared stagnant or frustratingly consistent during the retrograde cycle, this massive internal shift remained concealed because the outer world simply wasn't ready to receive or reflect the new version of you. You might have caught glimpses of this change, a sudden lack of resonance with familiar routines, a strange emotional dissociation from old, cherished priorities, or the intuitive sensing that your once solid, long-term visions were softening and reshaping themselves. But you instinctively waited. You didn't push or act on these nascent feelings. This wasn't due to a lack of preparation, but rather because the universe operates on divine timing, and the cosmic green light had not yet been granted. Retrogrades function as a necessary incubation period, forbidding the external environment from reorganizing until the internal operating system is fully integrated and prepared for the next level. Now, as Uranus stabilizes and prepares to station direct, you suddenly begin to witness the precise, undeniable external reflections of the profound changes you have already completed internally. This is why this current moment feels so strangely disorienting. Habits that once defined your security now feel like ill-fitting garments. Desires that fueled your past efforts feel hollow, and things that previously sparked immediate excitement simply fail to resonate with the same gravitational pull. In their place, new and powerful impulses, new motivations, rooted in self-respect and a completely redefined value system are surging to the surface, as if they were waiting for this specific cosmic permission slip to finally emerge into your conscious life. This is the moment of maximum surprise for many, precisely because the shift is often non-dramatic. Sometimes, the transformation manifests as an overwhelming, sudden desire to radically simplify your environment and commitments. Sometimes, it's a non-negotiable, deeper craving for radical authenticity in every interaction. And sometimes, it's the quiet, steady urge to pursue major risks that just months ago felt utterly impossible to contemplate. When your foundational values evolve this significantly, your entire destined trajectory changes right alongside them. And this is exactly the dynamic currently in play. Everything you tolerated out of obligation during the retrograde now feels unbearably heavy. Conversely, everything you have been secretly envisioning and wanting now feels overwhelmingly possible. And everything that aligns perfectly with your newly calibrated internal compass begins to pull you forward with a potent, irresistible force. This is the value shift, the quiet, yet absolutely undeniable tectonic reorganization of what truly matters to your soul. And once these new parameters are fully integrated, you begin to perceive the path ahead with a high-definition clarity that was fundamentally inaccessible even a mere week ago. The complex choices you painstakingly avoided now look strikingly obvious. The direction you doubted and questioned suddenly feels instinctive and natural. And the higher, orchestrating reason for all the past discomfort and waiting becomes gloriously impossible to deny. The 2/2 portal, or whatever high-frequency energetic window we are moving through, is far more than a simple energetic moment. It functions as a supercharged amplifier. Everything you select to focus on, everything you choose to invest your precious attention into, and everything you speak or decree into existence echoes across your timeline with exponentially greater volume and consequence than usual. This is precisely why today, perhaps more than any other singular day in this current cycle, demands intense intentionality regarding what you permit to enter your energetic field. This intentionality does not stem from a reactive position of fear or avoidance, but from radical self-empowerment, from the profound understanding that the quality and substance of your immediate next chapter responds with flawless precision directly to the emotional and mental frequencies you are focusing on right now. While this portal profoundly magnifies clarity and truth, it simultaneously amplifies and weaponizes distractions. You may find yourself experiencing a strong, seductive pull toward commitments or activities that are designed to waste your time, severely dilute your attention, or throw you off your carefully cultivated path, even if only by a subtle degree. These energetic temptations rarely show up disguised as outright chaos. Instead, they materialize as subtle detours, unnecessary, draining conversations that lead nowhere, the anesthetizing loop of mindless scrolling or peripheral obligations that masquerade as necessity but fundamentally fail to serve your highest purpose. And if you are not operating from a place of heightened awareness, these distractions can quietly and effectively siphon away the precise quantum of energy you desperately need for the profound shifts coming next.
Protecting your focus today
Is not about shutting down the world entirely or retreating into isolation. It is about rigorously prioritizing the direction your very life force is already attempting to propel you toward. The recent full moon exposed and illuminated what is true and real. Uranus is now preparing to dramatically accelerate everything that is in perfect alignment. And this portal serves as the volatile, powerful bridge connecting those two cosmic forces. Your sacred task is to rigorously guard the vibrational frequency you intend to carry forward into your destiny. Your future ultimately crystallizes exactly where your unwavering attention rests, and today, that truth feels heavier and more resonant than it has in ages. Your thoughts carry unusual weight. Your seemingly small decisions land with powerful compounding effect. Even a fractional shift in your core mindset can rapidly create a ripple effect that will define the trajectory of the next several months.
If something familiar attempts to lure you back into deeply grooved old habits or outdated smaller versions of yourself, you must recognize that pull for exactly what it is: a rigorous test of your alignment, not a genuine sign of systemic resistance. This portal sharpens your intuition to an incredible degree, elevates your personal awareness, and amplifies your inherent power to choose only what genuinely matters. Guard your hard-won clarity. Guard your accelerating momentum. Guard the bold, expansive vision you have been quietly forging during the stillness of the retrograde period. You are not required to block out the world. You simply need to stop donating your finite, irreplaceable time and energy to anything that does not actively and meaningfully move you forward. And once that boundary is firmly established, something deeply interesting begins to happen. The very ambient energy that previously felt chaotic, disjointed, or overwhelming starts to rapidly rearrange itself into something surprisingly stable and beautifully ordered. And that sudden stability is the precise cosmic twist that absolutely no one anticipates when Uranus finally stations direct in Taurus. Uranus carries a universally known reputation for being the great disruptor, the planet of sudden, explosive changes, massive paradigm breakthroughs, and unexpected, jarring turns. But when this electric force stations direct within the fixed, grounded Earth sign of Taurus, a profoundly unusual synergy occurs. The resulting change doesn't scatter your life into fragments. Rather, it profoundly stabilizes it. Instead of the expected chaos, you are gifted with crystallized clarity. Instead of upheaval and shock, you receive elegant, sustainable solutions. Instead of losing control and being tossed about, you effortlessly regain command in a way that feels almost suspiciously smooth and easy. This is the archetype of cosmic twist, where the initial shock of acceleration leads directly to a state of profound internal peace instead of escalating pressure. Throughout the retrograde period,
You likely experience certain segments of your life existing in a maddening state of limbo. Unresolved problems, lingering interpersonal issues, or frustrating situations that stubbornly refuse to progress regardless of your efforts. Understand that this was never true stagnation. It was deliberate, powerful suspension. Life was patiently waiting for the precise cosmic alignment necessary to shift these things without creating unnecessary drama or unwanted fallout. And now, as Uranus settles into its direct motion, these previously suspended areas can finally, decisively click into place, often in ways that feel incredibly anchoring and stabilizing. Something unexpected might instantly resolve a long-term chronic issue you had mentally prepared to deal with for months more. A heavy burden you've been responsibly carrying might suddenly and dramatically lighten its hold. This happens not because you managed to force a change, but because the subtle, dense energy that was keeping that situation stuck is finally dissolving into the ether. Life may quite literally simplify itself in ways you could never have strategically planned. This is the phase where people are most caught off guard because the sense of relief feels too immediate, too undeservedly effortless, and too perfectly timed. But this is the exquisite magic of how Uranus operates when harmonizing with an Earth sign. The necessary shock creates enduring structure. The stability that unexpectedly arises now does not originate from desperately clinging to the familiar or what you already know. It comes from the courageous and decisive release of everything that never truly and fundamentally supported your highest self in the first place. The retrograde helped you outgrow the old, smaller versions of security, and the direct motion is now manifesting robust new forms of security that perfectly match the powerful, evolved person you are now. Many people tend to treat full moons as definitive emotional finish lines, holding the misconception that the very moment the moon peaks, the entire emotional chapter instantly wraps itself up neatly, sealed and complete, and life immediately moves on. But this specific full moon was not a period marking finality. It was a powerful, open-ended comma. It initiated something, exposed a hidden truth, or emotionally softened a necessary barrier. And now, with the intense focus of Uranus preparing to move direct, the emotional storyline you believed was fully complete may circle back into your awareness in a way that feels utterly unexpected. This reappearance is not designed to throw you off your new center. It is a profound opportunity to bring you into deeper, undeniable alignment with the fundamental truth of who you currently are. Just because an emotional pattern or old memory resurfaces after the peak of the full moon does not signify that you are regressing or slipping back into outdated, toxic patterns. That notion represents one of the most debilitating misconceptions in modern spiritual thought. The fear that if something challenging returns, it automatically signifies a personal failure. In reality, some profound emotional chapters often echo and resonate back because the initial closure was insufficient or incomplete. You simply did not possess the crystalline clarity then that you have access to now. You did not have the fortified, non-negotiable values that you diligently developed during the intense retrograde period. You lacked the necessary courage or the elevated perspective that the 2/2 portal is so generously injecting into your consciousness right in this very moment. When Uranus shifts direct, it frequently reopens the very doors you were certain had been permanently sealed, allowing you the sovereign opportunity to walk through them with a profoundly different level of awareness and self-possession. This is not about being forced to relive the past. It is about seeing that past experience through the revised, mature lens of the version of you that simply did not exist when it first unfolded. Life repeats what you fear and ignore, but it flawlessly transforms what you courageously confront. And right now, whatever is returning to your attention is not a cosmic punishment. It is a divine invitation, a chance to finally handle something challenging with the level of strength, maturity, and undeniable clarity you simply did not possess before. This is realignment in action, not repetition. It is your powerful inner world finally catching up to the wisdom and self-knowledge your emotional body has held all along. As we continue to accelerate into this next potent energetic stretch, the universe abruptly stops relying on subtle hints, gentle whispers, and soft nudges. With Uranus now moving direct and the powerful portal energy remaining highly active, celestial signs begin manifesting in ways that actually interrupt your routine and demand immediate attention. Synchronicities no longer just appear occasionally, they start stacking themselves geometrically, one atop the other. Repeating numbers don't just briefly show up on the digital clock, they appear everywhere, on receipts, billboards, and license plates. Conversations align with an uncanny perfection to the very thoughts you were contemplating moments before. Key people materialize at the exact crucial moment you most need their input. Situations unfold with such precise, effortless timing that the entire experience feels intricately scripted. This state is far beyond mere coincidence. This is unmistakable cosmic intervention. The universe has always utilized synchronicity as its primary language of confirmation. But during these magnified moments, that language becomes bold, unmistakable, and jarringly loud. The details you previously dismissed as chance suddenly feel too exact, too perfectly arranged to ignore. You may notice distinct patterns in your mental landscape, aligning flawlessly with external, observable events. You might sense that your intuition is now responding faster than ever before, almost as if your internal guidance system and the external world are perfectly synchronized in real time. The signs will stop whispering entirely. They will shatter the silence. This sensory amplification is not intended to overwhelm your nervous system. It is specifically designed to urgently guide and anchor you. When your life accelerates rapidly, so too must the clarity of celestial communication. The universe has no desire for you to be guessing right now. It wants you prepared, intentional, and moving with speed. Therefore, the essential messages arrive with undeniable clarity, high-frequency repetition, and immaculate timing. You will notice them in the new, key people you meet, the sudden, magnetic decisions you are drawn to make, the perfect opportunities that seem to emerge from seemingly nowhere, and even in the moments where something highly inconvenient happens just to sharply push you out of a prior direction you were never meant to continue down. Do not, under any circumstances, underestimate the intense power and significance of these signs right now. They are not random statistical noise. They are not symbolic fluff. They are precise, high-definition alignment markers. Your task is to simply stop donating your time to anything that doesn't actively move you toward the extraordinary life you've been preparing for. And once you prioritize ruthlessly, the very energy that once felt chaotic or overwhelming immediately starts arranging itself into a surprising, rock-solid stability. Chosen ones, understand this. These signs are not merely markers of alignment, they are divine invitations to action. They are the language of the universe, whispered in a frequency that only those who are truly awake can decode. The greatest lesson of this portal is not to sit idly by, waiting for destiny to unfold automatically. The lesson is to master the art of active interaction with the currents of energy moving through you. I want you to reflect. When a sign manifests in your reality, what is your immediate, visceral response? Is it a profound confirmation of a hunch you've held for months, or is it a gentle, persistent shove out of your comfort zone? The matrix will tempt you to doubt. It will whisper logic and rationalization to dim your inner light. But it is precisely in these moments of friction that you are being tested to forge an unbreakable trust, not just in the higher intelligence guiding this journey, but in yourself. You are being called to trust your own capacity to recognize the truth and the courage required to act upon it. The blueprint for your evolution. Your intuition is the infallible compass. Treat these signs as your deepest internal whispers, amplified by the great central sun. Learning to listen to and trust this voice is not a gift reserved for the elite. It is a spiritual muscle that you strengthen through every choice you make. Small actions, quantum impacts. You do not need to dismantle your entire world overnight. A single, honest conversation, a firm no to a frequency that no longer serves you, a subtle shift in your daily routine. These are the stones that alter the trajectory of your entire energetic timeline. Every action born of alignment is a foundation stone for the kingdom you are building. Embrace the sacred discomfort. The path of the master is rarely a smooth one. These signs may lead you into territories that feel destabilizing or uncomfortable. Do not be deceived. Discomfort is not a punishment from the universe. It is the physical sensation of expansion. It is the sound of your old limitations breaking. It is a non-negotiable invitation to step into the most powerful version of yourself that has ever existed. The veil is lifting. The signal is yours to claim. Walk forward in the quiet, irreversible knowing that you are the architect of what comes next.